on digital radio,
94.9 FM,
and on BBC Sounds.
This is London.
This is BBC Radio London. Petrie Hosken.
Good morning, this is BBC Radio London. Petrie here, sitting in for Vanessa. I'll be with you until 10 o'clock. Now, there's not a day that goes by where we don't talk about Brexit. And today is not an exception, as we already have been talking about it. But a youth club in Roehampton have turned it into a sort of art form. They made a rap video, all about their views on Brexit. Have a listen to this.
Brexit, a way to exit the EU. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why Brexit exists. I don't even know what's going on. I don't even know why Brexit exists. I don't even know.
Brexit, it's when Britain exit, should have left it. We'll find without it, it's useless. They were bound to lose things, it's fruitless. Don't know a thing about it, it's stupid. Yet people voted, it's so sick. None of the rest of Europe was included. Now travelling is just a nuisance. I'ma tell you about it.
That is brilliant. I really like that. My son is a bit of a rap artist, but that is really good. So the Roehampton Youth Club, and help from the music producer and rapper Dean Garon. It's incredible. The lyrics were all written by members of the club. Dean Garon and two of the young spoilers, Lucy and Jonas, join me in the studio now. Good morning to you all. Let's start with the youngsters first. Not that you're not young, Dean. Of course, you're fantastically young. But
thank you.
Let's start with the kids. Let's talk to you, Lucy. Why a rap song about Brexit? I mean, normally it's about, sex, drugs and rock and roll, but Brexit?
I guess we just decided to do it because it's the biggest news now. It's what everyone's talking about, and we wanted to voice our own opinion about it.
And what about your opinion? Was everybody's voice heard on this?
Yeah, I think everyone's voice was heard. We got to write the lyrics, so we got to, write what we wanted to say. And Jonas.
Yes. That's a cool name, isn't it? Yo.
Yeah.
What about you? Did you have a lot of fun doing this? And was it more fun or more important?
It was a lot of fun, yeah, but it was more fun than important, but still was, yeah.
I mean, I guess that what happens, Dean, if I can come to you, is that young people often say they don't have a voice in politics and they don't have a voice in what's going on around them. Is that what this was about?
I think with this, if a lot of people will say that even adults don't even seem to have a voice in politics now. And even when it comes to Brexit, it seems to be adults don't even seem to know what's going on. So I think with this was just an interesting concept that seemed to give a platform to children now, not just young people, but children as well, to say that they still have an opinion when it comes to Brexit.
And it really does. I listen to, not voluntarily, but I listen to a lot of rap music in my house. And that's actually really, you've applied proper production to it, a great tune. This is really unusual, isn't it, for a topic like Brexit?
Well, this is it. It all started through NewsSpoilers, which was a weekly instalment of telling the news through songs. And through that just enabled any sort of topics to be turned into musical songs. So with a topic like Brexit, the fact that the young guys have decided to choose Brexit as one of their topics and then write their own lyrics, because a lot of people say that I helped them write their own lyrics, and the only thing I can say is I helped them put it on beat, basically. Apart from that, their lyrics and their words were all from their own thoughts.
It's almost, listen to it, Brexit, I don't know what's going on. That should be played every time in the House of Commons, shouldn't it, Lucy? What do you think? Every time we have a conversation about Brexit, it should be in the background.
Yeah.
Maybe make it to number one.
Hopefully.
The funny thing about that is that when everyone was in the room writing their lyrics for the Brexit song, they they did their research, they went onto Google, they were finding that sort of different things, but everyone decided they were writing the lyrics. And then Micaiah, who's the lead singer of that, she was just sort of sitting there, just sort of silent, bit of a mood, kind of like, what's going on? Like, what's happening? Why aren't you writing your lyrics? She's just sitting there silently. So what are you doing? And all of a sudden she exploded. So, I don't even know what's going on. Look, everybody here's writing, but I don't know what's going on with Brexit.
Yeah.
So, there you go. Use that.
Yeah.
And then you see her eyes just sort of light up and change.
Yeah, because that is the story. I mean, for all of us, actually.
And the fact that it's just so real. And it's that for that moment there where her frustration, not just about Brexit, but for the fact that everyone in the room has some sort of opinion about Brexit,
well,
but she doesn't. Exactly. But even with her, she's like, I'm completely clueless in the room as well, but still was one of the most powerful messages to it. So
yeah, well, I mean, and I think what most of us are saying at the moment, if somebody says they know what's going on, probably fibbing. Let's turn
or at least need a lot to learn.
A lot to learn. And as ever, out of the mouths of babes. But let me come back to you, Jonas, on this. The idea of getting news stories through music, does that appeal to you? I mean, how old are you?
I'm 12.
You're 12. So does that appeal to you, to get news through music as a medium for you rather than newspapers or news bulletins?
Yeah, because some people, they don't like reading the paper or something, but they like listening to music, and so that's the way that they can listen to the news, but through music, which means it's good because some people like music.
Yeah. So Lucy, is that for you as well a means of perhaps understanding news better?
Yeah.
Should I start singing every link that I do now?
You can,
Rapping
yeah. Just
don't think anybody wants that. No, nobody wants that.
I'm sure we could give it a try.
That's very good of you. I think if I did a rap, I'd have to do a talking one. I couldn't do a singing one.
Or just use a really slow beat.
Yeah, really slow. So what next for you? Is there going to be anything else? I mean, I think this song should be played a lot. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so I mean, in terms of the news spoilers, that's a regular thing that every week there's a new episode that comes out based on the latest topics from that week. We also have the Young Spoilers, who we are planning on coming up with basically new concepts. Technically no spoilers for the new spoilers just yet, but they are working on some more new tracks. But
it's a fascinating way of getting young people to engage with politics and with news. Is it something you particularly interested in yourself?
I mean, it's an idea that I came up with sort of about 6 months ago, and it was just something I had noticed, that telling the news through music is something that's kind of been dabbled with around the world, sort of Tunisia, Vietnam, Russia, Australia, different places that have used this sort of telling the news through music, but just not in the UK, and it's never been tried by adults or children. So I came up with News Spoilers. The idea with that was to kind of put the UK on the map, sort of thing. So
where can people listen to News Spoilers?
So you can go to newsspoilers.com and find everything there. We're also on YouTube, and you can find us on iTunes as well.
Perfect. Well, listen, congratulations, guys. It's a really, really very good tune. I like it. It's going to be in my head all day, so I may not thank you for it. But Dean Garon and Lucy and Jonas, thank you very much indeed for coming. Alex has called about Brexit. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, Petrie. That was a fantastic interview. That's exactly why I phoned up this morning. That last interview encapsulate everything that I've been saying. This is wrong for the last 2 years. Those children, I'm going to download that tune today. And,
it's great.
And I think it was fantastic, Petrie. Fantastic interview.
Thank you very much indeed. Listen, it's great to talk to you, Alex.